tired, but
Oh, wow. Yeah,
other than that, I'm good.
Hey,
good. Hi, hello, Gina,
hi, Betty. How are you doing?
good, how are you?
I am very good as well. How was your weekend?
Very good, very busy,
Nice.
yeah.
You're the only person I know that kind of knew what they were doing. Everybody else I've talked to has gone, hang on, what did I do this weekend? I mean, across the board, well, all of us are like, wait, it was good. So, all right.
Yeah.
Morning, Kathy. Morning, Bonetta.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you all?
Sleepy.
Hi.
Are ya? I got up at 4:30. I feel great. I think this is my fourth cup. I'm doing good. Now to just make sure I can maintain it the whole dang day. So,
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Well, just be grateful we don't have a meeting tonight, or do we?
I
Oh, we
just
do,
saw
don't we?
something for Agent Attraction. I just saw it and I'm like, listen. I don't know if I can make it or not. We're looking to pick up an investment property and I'm trying to get out there. I want to write today, maybe tomorrow at the latest. So I've got 3 more to look. Hopefully I can get inside all of them and then we write. So I'm going to try.
Great.
Either way, I'll be on it on my phone. But anyway.
Awesome.
Yep. So yesterday I was on a Zoom and I put my phone, my husband was driving and I set my phone very gingerly into the cup. And apparently I hit the button and there's only, I don't know, 20, 30 people on the Zoom. And I don't think I'm on mute and the GPS is talking. And then I hear somebody is not on mute and that person is Gina. And I'm like, oh, oh. Really? Oh, like, oh.
But look, you got pretty fingernails.
Well, thank you. Could have died though. And then we stopped at Walmart so we could run and go to the bathroom. So we're out like, I don't know, 5 hours or stay looking at property. And I'm like, I don't care if I'm on Zoom or mute or not. Like I have to hang up. I just can't do it. I cannot take the Zoom class into the restroom. I can't do it. So anyway, morning, Nellie. You're on mute. So I still can't hear you. Talk again.
Good morning.
There you are. Now I can hear you. Yep, we're good now. Awesome stuff. All right, let's dig in. It's realtor time almost. So if we were 5 minutes late, it would totally be realtor time. But 3 minutes late is realtor time enough for me, man. So Banana brought back the idea that we were going to circle around when we first got back this week on what we did on Friday and the themes and kind of the stuff that we discovered out of that, which I thought was a brilliant idea. I might have suggested it originally and completely spaced off on it, but Bonetta was the one that came back and said, no, you need to circle back around. So again, Bonetta, thank you for that.
mhm.
And since I'm thanking you for it, would you like to go first about kind of the themes and the stuff that you discovered out of the last, the thing that we did on Friday?
No, I wouldn't like to go first. No.
But you get Bonetta.
Yep. Yep. So out of that, and then was everybody here on Friday?
No,
Okay, so what we did, I'll recap first while kind of gathering your thoughts on it. What we did was, I'll walk you through the whole thing of what it ends up being. We just did a little portion of it, but you take 9 pieces of paper. On 3 of them, you write childhood. On 3, you write adolescent, and on 3, you write young adult. And then let's start with the childhood one. So you would take the childhood one after you've done the childhood. Underneath that, it's an activity that you like doing as a kid. So maybe it's riding your bike or reading or playing games or puzzles or hanging out, swimming or with your parents, whatever, just some activity that you really enjoyed when you were a kid. And then you'll do that on all the pieces of paper. And once you have that, you take that first piece of paper, let's say it's riding a bike, and you do a column on the left-hand side. And that column is what it was that I loved about it. And so my husband was riding my bike and he loved like the wind in his hair. He loved going to new places. He loved being alone. He liked doing it with friends also, but he liked the quiet and the time up in his mind. He just really enjoyed that part. And then the physical exercise actually also. So that's what he really loved about bike riding. And so you do that on all those 9 pieces of paper, what I really loved about that activity. And then on the far right side of the piece of paper, I'm trying to do it your guys' direction, but on the other side of the piece of paper, it is what the themes are that pop up. So for my husband, it was freedom and thinking and travel. And those were the main things that he really liked. I'm inside of his head, and then he liked the traveling part, and he really, really liked the feeling of freedom. So you go through and do that on all 9 activities. And then once you're done with that, in the center of it, it's how does all of this, how does this line up and create the kind of real estate that I want to do? And what does that look like? And then you kind of go through the center and you're like, all right, so I can create anything I want in real estate. How do I make sure that I have travel and exercise and time with my thoughts and freedom? And how does all that relate into my real estate? And what do I want to build my perfect real estate career to look like to make sure I'm covering those things? Bless you. So maybe somebody popped up with being outdoors. Oh, it was Kathy and Nellie too. And maybe you focus your real estate career more on horses and ranch property or something along those lines. So it's really kind of taking who you are and what you're about and honing it into real estate. And then what do you want it to look like in 5 years and then another 5 years? And so it's a lot of information. There's no way we could have done it in a half hour. Ideally, you probably spend a couple hours on doing it. And so that was the homework, was to kind of flesh that out the rest of the way and then to share it today. So, Vanetta, would you like to share?
We might need another day for this.
What kinds of things came out when you did it?
Huh?
What kinds of things came out when you did it?
So you know what kind of things surprised me? You know what? I forgot the young adult. I said adulthood.
There
And
wasn't.
then
Oh, okay.
I forgot the year and the 5 year. So maybe we need to send these exercises out in an email to remind us, because I did the childhood, and I did teenage years, and I did adulthood, but I didn't describe what I want my business to look like in a year, or the kinds of things that I wanted to look like in 5 years.
That's
So
okay. What did you discover and learn?
you know what? It was really interesting that I learned that some of the things about me were consistent from childhood, like the learning and the travel. I mean, wow, and the independence. Wow, that was like really, and the cooperation with others and collaboration with others. That and those things really, I was like, that was repeated time and time again. Like, I tell you one thing, it was really funny. I told you about Riverview. I shared Riverview. And then I looked at, when I really liked I loved my teacher. And my teacher was my first influencer, I loved her. And I had a couple of them that I really loved. And so those were my first influences to wanting to be a teacher. So one of the things I know about me as an adult is that I really like the classes, the teaching part. So I think I want that to be somewhere I want that to be somewhere in my business. A year from now, 5 years from now, there's got to be some form of sharing. I call it sharing, teaching in my business. And so one of my niches that I've been wanting to really hone in on is to to, like work with teachers, like call on schools and that sort of thing. So last week or the week before, I found on the internet that there was a way to get a list of teachers throughout Fairfax County and Northern Virginia. Whew, but how much it was going to cost to get their telephone name, even from this particular part of Dun Bradstreet. They can get it for me, but boy, it's going to cost me a grip of money. $6,000 to get all this. I was like, ooh, well, we're not doing that. But that was one of the things that I know that I want my business to be in some form, some part of it to connect people and to share.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. I really love that. Before you pay that $6,000, I would Google lists, because there's a lot of people that can put together lists for much less money than that. And then everything's negotiable, because once they have the data, it's just data. It doesn't cost anything to, share the data. It doesn't even cost hardly anything to gather it. So it's all negotiable. But I would Google, because there's a bunch of people. So I bought a ton of lists in my life, and there's a bunch of people that can sell you a list of different things for different amounts of money. But that's cool. Thank you.
What should I get? Google?
I don't know. See if you can like Google finding career lists or something, and see what's out there. I mean, I know of the real estate ones, but I also know that there's other ones out there they can find. There's a bunch of different sources out there to finding data.
Okay.
So
okay.
Cool beans. All right. Who else wants to share of something that maybe surprised them, or that they found out about themselves out of doing that?
I'll share.
What you got?
So mine said, well, helping people wasn't unexpected, but creating systems was one of mine that came out.
I can totally see that about you. I can totally see that. That's very cool.
Yeah. So I did. That was just from my childhood. I didn't do teenage yet, or young adult.
Right. Very cool. Does anyone else want to share?
I will. I did it all wrong.
I love that, because you still got really good stuff, and I don't know if there is a right or wrong.
Well, that's why I was up really late last night, because I didn't do it and needed to prepare. So I still did it wrong. This is one of those things that isn't easy for me. But like Bonetta, I have things that are reoccurring that go all the way through. My love of nature, I want to be outside, whether it's the curiosity and whatever, from climbing trees to laying out under the stars, to laying in a field and listening to the crickets and bugs and birds and watching the clouds go by, and all of those kinds of things. But also things like, bike riding, that stayed through all of those things. And it evolved: horseback riding, motorcycle riding, cars, all that kind of thing as you grew. I've always been really sort of a self-motivator. I didn't have to have people around me to do things. When I was young, I was a voracious reader. I'd go to the library, come back with a stack of books pretty much every day or two. More stories than other kinds of things. A lot of times they, in a variety of things. It didn't necessarily have just nature or animals or whatever. Photography became real important as I went on. Being self-reliant, self-motivated, planning. I would make, set goals and things like that. I'd get in trouble for some of those goals. Like saving my milk money to buy things instead of drinking milk at school, and, getting stuff I wanted besides milk. I remember I bought modeling clay at the hardware store. I got in trouble. My parents thought I stole it. I had saved up my milk money and bought it. I had to go return it, tell them I stole it when I didn't,
Mhm.
and
Oh.
all that kind of thing. I collect pop bottles and get money. I would, I told you about the seed and card sales. I started doing that. I tried to figure out when, and I think it was probably around 11. So I did anything from doing that, which I did for about 4 years as I looked through it. But it evolved only to Christmas card sales. I would mow lawns for people. I would babysit. I would worked at a boat shop and cleaned the person's house at the same time. And as I went through things and the rug got pulled out from underneath me, everything after when I hit that young adult age
Mhm.
really became more of a survival mode, and it stayed kind of that way. But I tried to figure out what I wanted to be.
Right.
And throughout my life, there was really not anything other than I this morning thought of one thing that I thought that I had wanted to be, and that was an airline stewardess because I get to travel the world.
So I took it back into traveling.
Yeah. But it was all about survival. What would take care of Angela and I could find a job anywhere, would pay enough that I could do that. I hoped I'd be relatively good at it. Those kinds of things. I don't think I've evolved a lot past that.
I
No.
really like that, in that I feel in my old age that I've come back to 12 also. I feel like what I was when I was a kid is pretty much what I am now. And I know it's not necessarily true. But that theme that you're talking about of going all the way through it, and the same themes going on and on. Yeah, I feel I think that's what we discover about ourselves.
And teaching and helping others and a sense of injustice. Oh, I'm terrible about that. If something isn't right, I'm not real good about it.
My husband has a huge sense of justice also. Thank
Yeah.
you for sharing that, Kathy. I appreciate that.
Thanks.
Does anyone else want to share one more maybe of themes that they ran across or that they discovered as they were kind of going through that?
Sorry.
You're fine.
Well, this is Kay. I had trouble with this exercise in terms of trying to figure out what it was, but what she just said kind of sparked something.
See,
I always
you did
like-
it right, Kathy.
I always liked helping other people, helping animals. I was head of the safety patrol. I loved horses. I used to sit on the fence and pretend like I was riding a horse. I always loved horses, and I have horses in my backyard today. I like to sing. I like to dance. I love theater. I love to travel. I think that the theme of leadership and fairness, which may be another word for justice, but those things were always important to me.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know if I did it right or not, but that was kind of what I came up with.
I love that. I really do. I like the themes that are showing up in your life. So if you guys took all of this and you were going to create your perfect real estate, what kinds of things show up? For me, one of the things that shows up in my life over and over again, when I was a kid, I loved fairy tales. And I just loved being transported to a different place. And the whole world was in this book. You could go anywhere you wanted to. You could travel the whole world. And as a kid, I still read as a young adult. As an adult, I still read and I still like fairy tales. I like them now because there's a deeper truth that can be told through fiction oftentimes than reality. Although I love real life stories too, because you never know where they're going to end up. They could go anywhere. It's adventure, it's mystery, it's who knows how it ends up. And I love stories. I just love stories. I love the magic around them. I am crafting and creating stories into my real estate because that's who I am and that's what I bring to the table. And I think there's a huge stories are parables and stories cut through everything else. And if you really want a point to be made, show people the numbers and show them all this and show them everything else, but tell them a story and that will just lodge in their brain. It absolutely lodges in there and they will remember it. And then they will remember what you're trying to teach them through that story. So what kinds of things do you guys show, or kinds of things did you guys realize that you had brought into real estate with who you are and what you're about through this exercise?
My love of helping people.
Yeah,
Teaching others and helping them.
yeah,
Development.
yeah, yeah,
Encouragement too.
yeah, yeah.
Mentor-
Go ahead.
Mentorship.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love that. I love taking what it is that we have and creating that niche around what it is that we do and really sort of defining what it is that we do around that. And who knows what it is? It could be anything, but it's what you uniquely bring to this table. And it's what makes, it's what's going to have people who only want to work with you. And it's what's going to help you as you're crafting and creating this thing about what direction you want to go and what it looks like and how you build it. We're in this for a marathon. We are not in this for a sprint. And if we're going to create something, like people all the time are like, I need to meet more people. I should join more groups. I'm like, join what you like. Because if you hate crocheting, do not join crocheting groups. Go get business. Because you won't like the people. You won't like it. You should go do what you love and do what you enjoy and craft your group, your sphere around that. Thank God it's not a sprint. You ain't kidding there. You are not kidding there. I raced my grandson a couple months ago when I was up in Washington State, and the little brat beat me. He's not 4, so there's that. But I was like, dang, I got beat by a kid. You know, I'm like, this is not bode well either. So I had to chase him down, which I never have to because he's older. But you know, that's not happening. I had to play on his sympathies. But anyway, does anyone else want to share anything else that they kind of gathered out of this? All right, let's move on. We got a few minutes left. Does someone have a challenge that we can all go like pour into?
I'm not getting feedback from the referral that I showed the houses to Saturday, and they seem like she liked me and
Yeah.
was looking for. And I told her what I'm thinking, what she was looking for. She said exactly. I said, okay, I'll be on a hunt, but she's not responding to my messages.
Okay, so when did you show the property? Saturday? All right, so you've got some good stuff. Okay, so guys, when you're being ghosted or you feel like you're being ghosted, go. What's your best out there to help Nellie?
Try to be patient.
But this
Yeah.
isn't the first time they've taken a while to get back to you, right?
Correct. It was hard to get them to respond to begin with. Like it was,
Right.
but she warms up the minute we talk, and she even bunked her price $100,000. You know, 150,000.
Nellie, do you have clear expectations? Of what you expect? Timelines, those kinds of things?
It's become more clear since I saw them Saturday. Like they want to move here in October.
Oh, it's June. Okay, there's not a sense of urgency around it yet either.
Mm-mm.
Okay, all right.
Nellie,
Selling their home in California in order to move here.
Mhm.
Nellie,
Have they sold their home yet?
can you hear me?
No. I said they have to wait to sell their home before they move here.
So they're probably just on a different timeline.
Mhm. I heard Benetta, you were trying to say something too, I think.
Yes, so one, Nellie, this is very normal when you're working with people. Don't take it personally. They're people do that until they're ready. So they may not be ready, just like Gina said, and they'll get back to you. And like I said, this is very normal. The other thing is that when you have a consultation with people, and I'm really starting to realize these, even though I've been in sales now 7 years, the more when I have a consultation with somebody is to ask them their expectations and to share with them your expectations. And one of your expectation is even, communication, if things change, to let you know, so that, this, good communication is just period. So
Yeah, thank you. I did actually tell her that. I said, you let me know at any time you want anything done differently, or if you're happy with something or not happy with something, because I could work around you and get what you want, do what you want.
did you ask them what their expectations were?
Their expectation is just looking for something that's not too far from where they're looking. So, and because I clarified that. And then that's why I texted them saying, what is that location address that you want to be 20 minutes away from? Because from Paris, they said 20 to 30 minutes, and I found beautiful homes, but they said that was too far. So I said, okay, they're looking. And then they keep saying, we want to be closer to these friends. So I said, if you want to give me your friends' addresses so I could do the search around that,
Mhm.
But they never got back to me. So,
I
yeah,
have another one also, which is completely outside of those things. And that is when you have the best answer, I feel, is to go get more clients, because when you're, well, let me ask you this. I'll just throw this out to the whole crowd. Define a lead. Like anybody out there, toss out there, define a lead, what a lead is.
Well, I've been defining it as just as a contact when they contact me and want information, but I don't know that that's really a lead.
Perfect. It's perfect. All right. So we'll start with that. So when someone contacts you now, if you have 1,000 of those, and you can only contact and talk to 20 of them, but you have 1,000 people, then how do you define a lead?
Those that want to buy within 3 months, 90 days.
Beautiful. Now you have 1,000 people that you want to buy within 90 days. You can still only contact 20 in a day. Define a lead.
Who stays in communication with me? Because those people really want it.
Beautiful.
Those are the ones
They're
that-
pre-approved.
Yeah.
Okay,
Really valuable.
you have 1,000 people who want to buy within 90 days that are pre-approved and ready, willing, and able. Now define a lead.
Again, communication, those that they respond when if I call them, or they stay in communication.
They give me feedback.
You've
Exactly.
met with them.
Perfect. All right. So now I have 1,000.
Are they
people.
going to buy in 30 days?
Bingo. I got 1,000 people that are going to stay in communication with me. They've connected with me. They want to buy in 30 days. They're ready, willing, and able, and they're pre-approved. I got 1,000 of them. Now define a lead.
I hire staff. Can't get that many people sold and closed in 30 days.
So how am I going to define? Because I can only talk to 20, and I got 1,000 that want to do it in 30 days. So now how do I define a lead?
Appointments are scheduled.
Well, it's just to come from experience. The one who you think that it will be faster to sell, like is he a prospect? Like he wants a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. He doesn't want that's like something you won't find. So he has to be in the market area, in your market area. So he has to be a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in $350,000. If he wants for 200, okay, you are dreaming. So okay, next. That's how I do.
Perfect. Perfect. So you got 1,000 people that want to buy in 30 days, and they're realistic. Now define a lead.
I send them properties to go look at to preview make them narrow it down to 3 to 5, make them preview it, and then set an appointment to see the top 2 and
Okay,
be prepared to make an offer.
so you're
I
gonna
would
send
just-
1,000 people properties. So how am I gonna define if I have 1,000 people that are ready in 30 days, realistically ready in 30 days, how am I now going to define a lead? 'Cause I can only talk to 20 today.
Get the appointment, showings, appointment.
Appointments and showings, okay,
Yeah, appointment for the next day.
perfect. And why would they want an appointment? Why would they want an appointment for the next day? Because they are ready to buy.
In the 30 days. So the loan, the pre-approval, it's about 45 or 30 days now. It can be shorter, but now you have to pick 10, they have to pick 10 houses. So you go out and show. In those 10, they have to find one.
So what if I have 1,000 of those, and out of that group, if they're ready in 30 days, how do I find the ones that are ready
In a
Yeah.
week,
in a week? Bingo, in a bingo. So now I have 1,000 people that are ready in a week. How do I define a lead?
If you find the house you like, are you ready to make an offer
Right now, today,
today?
That's
today.
what the showing is like. Okay, tomorrow we're going to show to see 10 houses. So you're going to make your choice tomorrow.
Bingo, bingo.
Tomorrow is
That's what
Thursday.
you're looking
Yeah.
for. And here's what I'm trying to hone down. When you have a bunch of, okay, time-wise, if you have one client and that client is giving you grief, or you lose a deal, or it goes to hell in a handbasket or whatever, because that is just, it's a numbers game, and there's the top of the funnel and you got one of them. If they're making you crazy insane, it's 100% of your business. But if you find a ton of leads and you keep on honing it down and throwing them in the funnel until you can get them down to that group down here that are ready to buy today, and you have 10 of them and one of them gives you grief, it's 10% of your business. I mean, grief is still grief, but it's 10% of your business. And it ends up, it just solves the answer to everything. So if you've got someone that's making you kind of crazy because they're ghosting you, go get 2 more. And if
Yep.
someone pisses you off in real estate, go get 2 more. And if
Yep.
someone does something stupid, go get 2 more.
Yep.
Yep, you just go get more. It solves everything. It just does. So
Well,
some are gonna be slow and ghost you, and that's just what they're gonna do. Yes, darling.
this is great. Thank you. Real quick question, because I know Real Flow, when you do mass mailing, do they because they mail for you? I'm gonna call them. I just thought any of you have used it before to
Yes, I did use the mass mailing.
and
Mhm.
good.
I like better doing myself. With with Gary's letter,
Mhm.
I have more results.
More results from Gary's letters.
Yeah, so you do the search with Real Flow.
Right.
So normally it's absentee owners, okay, in the zip code you want. And then you send the letters. Well, I take the time to send it to print them and send them, but I mean, and I sign it, and some people, they like because you sign and the envelope, you handwrite the envelope. So I had even a guy who called me because he liked my handwritten, how I wrote the letter. And I said, really? So I sign it and just the address, I handwrite the address, but that's all.
How many times did you send those letters out, Betty?
Well, I send them when I have time to send them. I'm not good at doing it. Yeah, I promised Gary I will do once. I told him I can do once a week for 4 weeks, and then after one every other week. So I have to start. I will start doing it Friday.
But you already had
I
some
love
experience, so that's good.
Yep, it is.
Yeah.
There's some things about mailing that I just heard, and there was a thing called chunky mail or lumpy mail. Lumpy mail. Have you guys heard of lumpy mail?
No.
Gosh, I
but
fell
I
in
can
love
guess
with
what it is.
Yeah, well, okay, maybe I couldn't. What they did, so they talk about mailings, and they said you need to for people to open stuff up, it has to be different. So a different covered envelope, handwritten, These are all things that will help it. Now, am I asking you to handwrite 1,000 envelopes? No, I'm not. But there are different things that will get your open rates up higher. And one of them is called Lumpy Mail. They did a mailing consistently to the military. They would go after a military base. And so what they did was they got little plastic army men, dirt cheap, and they would stick them inside the envelope. The USPS hates this, just, full disclosure. However, if you got an envelope and it had some weight to it, that's the other thing. If it's kind of weighty, people are like, oh, what is this? But if it has a big lump in it, your open rates go sky high because they want to know what this lumpy thing is in here. And I was like, that's brilliant.
That was, sorry, that was also on the training that happened last week with
That's where I got it.
Jay Kinder's selling
Win-win listing.
presentation. Yeah.
I know, I stole that whole idea from him. I thought that whole thing was brilliant.
Yeah.
And I have to
You
give
were
a
on
shout
that.
out to Jay.
Mhm.
He set up my Facebook ads.
Yeah.
I have a listing appointment today.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yep, and I've had 7 leads.
Cool beans.
Wow. Fantastic. Congratulations.
That's very cool. Very
So
cool.
he's good.
All right.
And what's his name again? Jay Kinder?
I'm not Jay,
Yeah.
Brandon.
Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon
Kinder.
Kinder, it's Jay's son, and it was on one of the Monday Night Lives recently.
So it's worth paying that 150.
It's up to, yeah. I've had 7 leads and I have an appointment today and I have 3 of them are pre-approved.
Wow.
Because I was doing it, but I was like 150 a month, and I was like,
Well, it's per day. So it's up to $10 a day or
Right.
up to $5 a day.
for 90 days. That's usually really good.
Yeah.
So, because of my situation, I was like, I don't know, should I be doing this? And then the mailing, I was wondering, the real flow is free because I was calculating the price, but I think I need to just spend some money and because it'll come back more, right?
Well, figure out what your target's going to be.
And hold every dollar you spend accountable. So you got to track your ROI on every dime that you spend. Bye, Betty. Thank you. You got to track your ROI on every dime that you spend, and you hold your money accountable. And the one thing to never do this. Well, if I just close one deal, I'll break even, because that's not right. And here's why that's not correct. And here's why. People discount their time. So like, well, I put together everything for this website, and if I just get one deal out of it, I'm good. And I spend, 10, 20, 30, 40 hours, who cares? It doesn't matter, whatever the time is. But let's say I spend 3,000 and I make 3,000, and they're like, okay, I made my money, I'm good. No, you spent 40 hours. For 40 hours, you could have had a different ROI. So there's a rule of thumb. I do not know what it is. For me personally, I wanted the 10 times anything that I spent. So if I spent 3,000, I better make 30,000. And if I did that consistently, then I knew I was okay with it. So that's really how I looked at it. But just hold your money accountable, and then give whatever it is you do enough time. So if you're going to do mailings typically don't work the first go around. Mailings typically are an overtime situation. So maybe over a year or 18 months. And then you have to be able to commit to it. So I'll hear a lot of times, so, I tried it and it didn't work. Well, like, what did you try? Even, I called my sphere, it didn't work. How many did you call? And when you really hone down, they're like 5. Well, no.
And the same mailing to the same people again and again.
Yeah. It's the same people again, then again, then again, then again, usually to get mailings to work. It's not even Betty said that. She said it was 4 in 4 weeks, and then every other week after that.
Well, and I'll say this to the mailings, because I've done them before and I'm getting ready to do them again. They do work over time.
Over time. It really,
I did get a great return from the mailings over time. And some people even would come to the meetings with all of the mailings that I had sent. And it was like the 6th or 7th or 8th one that they were finally like, I've got to talk to you. Yep. So it is a time versus money thing. So if you want to spend the money, go ahead. But if you have the time to do the mailings, I would encourage maybe doing that consistently first, just to see what your return is. I handwrote my own letters and envelopes and everything. And it did take 4 to 6 months to get traction, but it did work.
Did you send the same letter every time?
It was a little different as it progressed, as the progression of the letters progressed, but same sort of theme. You know, if you're interested, we're interested in purchasing your property. This is what I was in the investor space at the time. I was not an agent just yet, but it was the same sort of thing. Progression in the letter and what we're trying to do.
Okay.
Did somebody put
That's you wanna
Brandon
target.
Kinder's contact information in the chat?
Bree,
you
do you have
Who
it?
Braden's?
Braden?
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know which Monday Night Live, and I know I don't have it handy.
Here, I have his,
I think it was the last one that we had before the break. It
I
might
I
have
have
been.
his calendar. Hold
It
on,
was
let me. put his
Susan, it was a week
calendar.
before that one.
Oh, okay. It was one of those.
Yep.
Well, we
Okay.
had the break.
Pretty sure Susan was the last one, and then we went on break, and then, yeah, so I think the one right before that. So cool beans. Thank you for that.
Here, I'm gonna give you his appointment.
There we go. Cool. Thank you.
I think.
Perfect.
So when you meet with him, have your KV core and your KV core and your Facebook pulled up.
And then you'll just
Okay.
sit with him and he'll get y'all taken care of.
And then he'll take control of your screen and he'll take care of everything.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
We love
awesome.
that.
He put my drip campaign in and everything.
Anybody who I just turn over to and just does that, we love in my book. That's good stuff. Yep.
Do you get to learn how to do it at the same time, Brianna?
He records his screen, or you can record your screen, and but it's an hour. Like, he was clipping along very quickly, so he doesn't have time to like explain everything. Like, he talks through it. So I would recommend recording the screen so you can go back and watch it, but he sets it up for you.
Cool.
Put it in the chat.
All right. Thank y'all.
So it's worth spending the money. It's like 58 cents or 48 cents or something for stamp and all that for 400 mailings.
Just make sure that you're focusing, like they were saying, you're gonna have to send maybe 4 to 6 mailings to that group. It's
Right.
not gonna happen with just one mailing.
Right.
So, and here's why. Do you guys know where people open up their mail? Most people, where they open
Over
it?
the trash can.
Bingo. Bingo, that's exactly what they do. And what you have is some sort of a message of, do you want to sell your house? In some form, you have that message, call me, do you want to sell your house? And you have to send, it has to look the same every single month. So let's say you sent out hot pink envelopes, not that I'm recommending this, but let's just say for easiness. So every month they're going to see the hot pink envelope or the hot pink postcard that says, do you want to sell your house? And every month they're like, no, 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 until they are ready. And they're like, wait, where's that pink envelope? And if you change your branding to a blue envelope, they won't see you. You don't exist. So it has to look basically the same. Does this mean you can never change it? No. But if you do make changes, they have to be like, if you're going to change your graphic, it has to be subtle and slow of where you change it. Maybe you change the placement first, but the graphic's the same. And then the following month, maybe you just change out one color and then another color and et cetera. It's got to be a very slow, gradual change because they have to recognize you. So that's just the reality of what mailing looks like nowadays. It's no, 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 until they're ready. And then when they're ready, they need to be able to find you again. So again, just look at where you are and what you do and what you would open up, or what you like, are you a Facebook person? Then Facebook is perfect for you. Are you a social media person? And maybe Facebook is the direction you want to go. Great. Are you a mail person? And that's really how you're comfortable and you like writing and you like doing all that, then go that direction. So look at what it is where you think your people are. Like, I know that if I was going after millennials, I would probably not go on Facebook, because millennials aren't on Facebook. They're on Instagram and Pinterest. Kids are on TikTok. My generation's on Facebook. It just, where's your tribe and your people? And then once you kind of know what you guys like to do, that's where you need to go advertise, because that's where they are.
Who wants to spend money? Who wants to invest? Who wants?
Yes. Yep. So then what age group is that you work with that likes that? Yeah. Guys, I hate to do this. I gotta go. I can leave it running if you like and just turn my screen off, but I gotta run. I got like a billion list mile long on things to do. So,
Thank you, Gina.
oh, you're so welcome.
Thanks, Gina.
Y'all
I
are
got
welcome.
it.
Yeah, thank you.
wish-
I enjoy this every morning. Thank you.
I'll
Thank-
let it run. Thanks.
Bye. Thank you, everybody.
All right.
You're so
Bye-bye.
welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, she left. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.